What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In case you're seeing me for the very first time, hi, my name is Monica and you are most welcome to this video. As you can tell, I'm literally outside. There is a car that just passed by. There's another one literally that just popped up. In today's video, we're going to talk about confidence. And with this scenario that I just showed you, cars passing by, it takes confidence to sit right here in front of this camera and record videos, talk to yourself. It takes a lot of confidence. That's all I'm gonna tell you. So I get complimented a lot by people in the comment section, the people that I interact with outside of content creation. People tell me, "Oh, Monica, you're so confident. You speak so fluently." First of all, thank you so much for those compliments. I just have one spoiler alert. There is no one who was born confident, literally no one. Confidence is something that is built. Some of us have to do it when we are old and we intentionally decide like, I want to be more confident. Like you who has clicked on this video, I believe you want to be more confident in the way you communicate in your work because confidence actually pays. For example, the job that I'm doing right now, I am working as a marketing manager for a big company, and without confidence, there is no way a girl like me, an African girl in the United Arab Emirates, would take up this kind of job. There is no way that I would be offered this opportunity. So it takes confidence in life. Confidence pays. So I'm going to tell you my journey, a little bit of a backstory. I'm going to try and dig up a video which I think I don't even have to dig so far back because, like I said, confidence is a work in progress. I'm pretty sure if I pull up a video of me that I made maybe 2 years ago, you're going to see a very big difference from the video that I'm making today. Right now, I'm at work. I just stepped out of office and I sat here. I don't have to prepare a lot to come and create this video because confidence, like I said, I built this up until this point to be able to sit here and be fluent and record a video for however long that I'm going to do that. Confidence is when things come to you as if they are natural. So like now, you're watching me, I'm not going to pause at all. Everything is just going to keep flowing. And I also don't rehearse for my videos. Like I said, I'm working as a marketing manager. This is a very busy job. Also part of my life, if you see me for the very first time, is that I am in school for my master's degree. So I'm always very, very busy, especially on the weekends. That's why I don't actually create videos on weekends when someone would expect me to create better content because, you know, it's the weekend, you're not working. Why aren't you outside recording for us the sky view of Dubai and, you know, creating that as content? I'm very extremely busy when it comes to the weekends because I have school. Well, that is part of the introduction of what you should know about me. So I know you're not here to know only about myself. You're here to learn how to be confident. And personally, there are just 3 specific things that I had to change about myself. And some of these things are going to seem like unorthodox or like unconventional to someone like, come on, that can't relate to confidence. Yes, these are the things that I had to do to change this about myself and to be able to become more confident. The first thing, which I think happened by chance or by accident, was that I moved to another country where literally no one knew me. So when I was in Uganda, obviously I used to try and create videos and it was incredibly hard. I cannot explain to you how hard it was for me to create content in Uganda because on every other corner there is someone who knows me. There's someone I went to med school with, and if someone I went to med school with sees me holding out my camera in the streets, they'll be like, what happened to this girl? Like, oh my God, what is wrong with her? And even though that may not actually be true because it isn't, people don't really care in general. Being in the environment where people know you as someone who is timid, someone who is shy, it's very hard to come out because when you come out, it's weird. I hope people, you know, you're not confusing the word come out with so many other meanings that it can mean. But let me say, come out of that shell of being shy, being timid. If, for example, ever since you joined school, you have never raised your hand up to say something, and you really want to change this about yourself. It is going to become incredibly hard to raise your hand up. I said we are not rehearsing, we are not cutting either. If we make a mistake, we just go through with it. To raise your hand up in your class of people who have never seen you raise your hand up, because when you do, they're going to be like, everyone's going to turn their heads. Yeah, and you might be like, no, maybe not today. I'm not going to raise my hand up. So from it becomes, instead of now starting a new chapter and you build your confidence, just keeps putting yourself down. The environment keeps putting you down. I'm going to use another example, and I hope my sister will forgive me. My baby sister, she used to go to a certain school and she wasn't performing well academically. She really was not doing so well. Then for so many other reasons, which didn't have anything to do with the fact that she wasn't doing well, she was changed to another school. So when she reached in this other school, it was kind of a new school, which means everyone in the school was somehow new. So it was like a clean slate for her. I cannot explain to you guys, like her grades changed. She improved very greatly in her performance. She was suddenly the leader of literally the whole school. She was the head girl, and I personally think it was because of the clean slate, because when she went to this new school, she was no longer that timid, shy girl. Everyone was new. She didn't have any reasons to be timid or shy. So yeah, for me, partly coming to Dubai was the start of me coming out of my shell, because I didn't need to be shy to be holding my camera in the middle of the street. No one knows me. If you have been here long enough, you know that the first videos that I made were the kind of videos that no African can make about themselves. The videos where I was telling my journey of being homeless. Yeah, Africans are very proud people. I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks this, but for an African, even if they are going through the worst, they would rather keep it to themselves. So being in a foreign land and struggling and being like, okay, this is rock bottom, there is no other place I could fall, like there is nothing else to lose. Say, yeah, let's just talk about this. Let me share my journey, let me tell my story. And gradually still, every day, building onto that, I eventually came out of that shell and I'm able to sit here and talk, and I'm able to be fluent as well. The other thing is practice. Yes, right now I can just pop out of the office and sit here and record a video of 9 minutes, of 8 minutes. But before, I always had to rehearse. I always had to, think, write some notes. I had to refer to these notes as I was recording, because I couldn't just come up with the words. Practice and practice. If you want to be fluent, if you want to be confident, you need to practice, because the more you practice, the more you get good at it. While I'm talking about practice, what helped me to be able to, because you may practice, but you still feel like, I don't think I'm good. I used to get really scared that I'm going to stammer, I'm going to lose the words, I'm going to even sometimes I would literally practice. I would have like a whole script written down, and I was still unable to speak. Like I would speak 2 words and I forget the next word in a short sentence. It was crazy. So this is the thing that I used. This may not be unconventional. I was reading a book or watching a movie. I don't remember, it was a very long time ago. And they said that when you're thinking, do you stammer? Like, do you think and then pause and then lose the words? No, when you're thinking, you actually think fluently, which means you are capable of being fluent. I don't know, maybe some of you have never really thought about this. This is the first time you're hearing this. Take a moment and think. Do you think and forget the words? No. We all think very fluently, which means if we are able to think it, we are able to say it. I know it's a little bit hard to connect your thoughts to your words, because naturally we are taught to think twice before we speak. Even when we communicate with others, we have to think twice before we speak. So it affects us because this is what we have practiced. Yeah. But if you are trying to create content, if you're trying to make videos, you don't need to think twice. You just need to say it. And I know this might mean that at some point you're going to record a video and have to delete it because you just said something that you don't want on camera. That is okay. What are we trying to achieve? Fluency, confidence. I said something there that I really don't want on camera. Delete and repeat. And the more you repeat, this is still to your advantage. You're still going to gain more confidence. The third thing that helped me is to stop apologizing for existing, because sometimes we feel like, you're not worth it, especially some of us who are chasing careers in spaces that we are not normally welcome, in spaces that are somehow meant for other people. You feel like, I don't belong here. I stopped apologizing for that. I'm the kind of person who will just show up and people will be like, how did she? People would literally ask me to my face, like, how are you in this space? And I stopped apologizing. I don't even have to explain myself. I'll leave it to you to figure it out. Why must you question the fact that I am here? Why must you question and think that I don't belong? So I stopped apologizing. Yes, this was the last bit that I did just of recent, and it took a lot of hard work. It took me writing down my whole life story. Yeah, this was a tough one because the toughest things that you go through life, especially if they involve your family, and you feel like if you come from the kind of families where people don't talk about things, I had to sit down and write a whole book about my life story for me to be able to get over all that burden. Like, why must I carry it around? It wasn't my choice to be abused, for example. So I had to sit down and write all that down, unburdened myself, and that's when I felt like I'm Lord free and I don't need to apologize for my presence. I don't need to apologize for, I've been through it. I've been through this life and I'm here. I don't need to apologize for existing. So if you're in a space and you're feeling like an imposter, you're feeling like maybe I don't belong here, maybe this is short term, stop apologizing. That is the last bit that I had to do. And I know this because it's so recent. It has really changed everything for me. For example, if you might scroll through this channel, you realize that it's been a while since I last created videos. Yes, I was struggling. I was still struggling with confidence because you may speak fluently, but if you're still confident enough to just sit here and record whatever your life is right now, you're still struggling with confidence. So that last bit, to unburden myself and be able to stop apologizing about my life, apologizing about my existence, that right there is why we are here today. It's why we are making this video. It's why you're watching this video. And with that, I would like to say thank you for watching this video. Please do consider subscribing, like, and share this video. And I'll see you guys. I need to go back to office. My clients are calling me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.